Crypto minimalist here, still holding. I have another really cool chart I want to show you, but first let's go ahead and check out what's going on with TFUEL and the Theta project, as we are now only a couple of days out, just 3 hours over 2 days from mainnet 3.0 launch. And the big question is, when will we pump and will we dump? So we have TFUEL 4271. Really flat here, not a whole lot going on. We've been really hurt by the weakness in Bitcoin, but there's nothing you can do. It's the volatility of this market. That's why we make money. So you got to have the good with the bad. Volume has really fallen off in the last week or so. Really fell off in the weekend, and it is starting to come up somewhat, which is definitely not a bad thing. But with Theta and TFUEL, it doesn't matter necessarily a whole lot because they seem to have a mind of their own. So I want to go back and take a last look at our comparison to the mainnet 2.0 launch. And I really wanted to highlight, we're 2 days before launch, how bad it was last time. I'm hoping that it's not as bad because of how, for 2.0, the week before that was incredible. So hopefully we don't have a reason to drop as far. Unfortunately, I think what happened here is a lot of the gains were already baked in for 3.0 because of the price rise from when the 3.0 launch was first postponed back in March and April. So we got a lot of the gains there, and really that kind of carried over to us in the last couple of weeks. And we also saw a lot of good action in the first couple of weeks of the month. And I think at that point, people just started taking profits. It was almost a domino effect. It was because we know this, so everybody else knows it that has a bunch of TFUEL. And it's like they got to get in a week before us, and then the even bigger TFUEL holders got to get in before them. And it's just like with the stock market, a lot of the stuff is just baked in 3, sometimes 6 months ahead of time. I still do think we're probably going to dump on mainnet. Very likely. I'm hoping it's not going to be as bad, but it might be, 10, 15, even 20%. A lot of that I think is just going to be people are probably let down. They thought it was going to be a lot more explosive than it was, probably $1. I thought we would for sure get to $1. I think that's coming down the road, maybe even July. We're going to keep tracking this. We'll have to see how it plays out. The week or two after was also not good. But with the staking, it's a lot different this time. So we're really going to keep looking at that and see how staking affects things. I really don't like suggesting selling some to try to buy back in lower, but I think it's so likely to happen. I'm probably gonna try to sell 10% and try to rebuy it back. Now I will say if you just barely have the staking requirements of 10,000 to run an elite edge node, I don't think you can risk losing that, because if you go down, if you sell 1,000, and if it takes off, which it could, nobody ever knows for sure. you're screwed out of an elite edge node and the amazing staking rewards we're going to be seeing coming up here. Um, but I just in case it's worse than what I think it could be, it'd be nice to at least have the opportunity to grow your bag, and it wouldn't feel so dark for you. But everybody's gotta do what they feels right. There's nothing wrong with holding. There's never anything wrong with holding Theta or TFUEL. So let's get into the new chart, which I'm really excited about this chart. I need to spend some time really digging into it because it's gonna be really insightful, I think, to keep looking at this as we get into July. I'm just going to go briefly over it, and I wanted to point out one big thing. Go back up to the top. So yeah, it's the last 30 days. We started at 13% stake, and it methodically just kept rising until, of course, we kind of really just flatlined there the last week or two. Don't pay attention too much to this drop, otherwise this would really scare me because of how these two sets of data look almost identical to each other, a little bit different here and there, but if you look at, you got this triangle pattern, you got it corresponding here, 1, 2. What I do notice is that the staking percentage seems to be about a day or so ahead of the price, which is really important to note because when we have like math and just logic, it makes it so much easier to make decisions, and we're not just like shooting in the dark and guessing, saying, oh, I should buy this much of TFUEL because I think it's going to probably go to $1 next month. But why? How do you know that? This just helps us make better decisions when we look at data like this. And so, yeah, this one, it starts to move a day earlier than the up move from the price. Right here, we're starting to go up while the price is still going down, and then the price follows it and goes up. We get a little wacky here, like I was saying, but this is with the, I'll bring it up. The Theta edge node has been completely, they've completely updated it, and I haven't had enough time to look at it to really know what the heck's going on here. It's got me confused. My stake it has been completely taken off. It's still in my wallet, but it's been unstaked, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to restake it back. And that's probably what's happened to a lot of people. So I gotta figure that out. Otherwise, with how closely the price corresponds to the stake percentage, I'd be like, oh, geez, we might see a huge drop in the price here, but ignore that for now. And I'll just there's the bottom of the chart. I'm gonna enter in the current price because why not? Let's just do it live. $424. And we got 686,172,503 divided by the circulating supply, 5,325,000,000. So we're at 12, say 12.9%. So we're still going down a little bit here, which, crap, which is kind of what I was saying we be wary of. Where the heck's the percentage? That's 129. Wow, so I almost want to cut that out now, but where was we at? So we're at 686 million. So what I was saying earlier, 751 was before they updated the edge node. So we're missing like 70 million TFUEL, and part of that's mine. So we're continuing to drop here. But like how I said, this seems to be somewhat of a leading indicator here. You know, we might see a red day tomorrow. The last point I want to make is, so look at Theta is up to 62% staked. There is a big difference between the two. This is way too low, and it's going to have to go up, or else those of us that are staking are going to get a ton of rewards, which I'm fine with either way. But let's just even say half of that, and you see how we're saying that, and how closely the price and the staked are. That means the price has to go up, right? I mean, this isn't to scale, so you can't just say, oh, well, 70 cents, that's irrelevant because it's not to scale. But what we can say is, if this goes up, all indication is that the price will have to go up. So that's really something to watch here going forward. Please stay tuned as I continue to monitor the ongoing TFUEL situation. Later this week, we will be taking a look at the new staking rewards for TFUEL. I will also start to create more Theta-oriented content and be expanding into additional new content. See you in the next one, guys.